Let's go to the audience. It's your time. Let's hear from you. Okay? We'll come back to you, David. We'll go back here to her, and then we'll come to you.
Please do not forget that Islam is a political system as well as a religious system, and I think we neglected the two are temporal.
I think that's correct. Islam is both things. It does not understand the distinction between church and state. What is interesting is there are some Muslims in this country who have been exposed to what it's like to separate their faith, their Islam from government, and they get it. I have a good friend, Zudi Jasser, who is a devout practicing Muslim who will defend separation of mosque and state. So it is possible for Muslims to get this, but in most of the Muslim tradition, that's absolutely right. They believe that everything is subservient to their faith, and that includes government, and government's job is to assist Islam in enforcing its practices and its demands.
Rob wants to speak to it as well.
Yeah, well, I would certainly agree with everything that Barret has to say, and I think part of the thinking, in my understanding, with Islam is that as part of the practice of the faith, there is consciously not a separation in your life between your political life, your personal life, your religious life. It's all bound up together. So we think a little bit differently, and that might be partly a cultural thing as much as it is a religious thing. But I think as they're exposed to Western culture and they see that we can fully believe and live out our Christian lives and yet be respectful of the political process and the way other people believe and practice, that will have some kind of an impact on it.
Just to follow up on that, with Zudi Jasser, you should all know him. He's a medical doctor. He gets it. He understands it. In fact, he said, in a conversation with him, he said, I appreciate this country's commitment to the separation of the mosque, of the church, and the state, because he said that guarantees that no one is ever going to coerce me in the way that I live out my life. And so he actually defends the right, the basic fundamental practice of the separation of church and state. So you're right, expose Muslims to this environment, raise them in this environment, help them understand what happens when you're no longer coerced by government, and many of them get it.